Looks like we're getting close to
Right.
here, jumping into our game, but a lot of conversation out there in the Madden Ultimate Team community right now about golden tickets. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Hit that 20,000 like goal. Looks like golden tickets are going to be back in Ultimate Team this season. First, let me pose the question to the chat. Who would you make if you got a golden ticket? And then let me pose the same question to you, Zan.
Mitch Trubisky. No. No.
I
I
knew it.
think I'm going with man, it's tough. This year, some of my favorite players in the game. Uh Devin Bush has been probably the player that stands out above his ratings, and his ratings are really good. I feel like he forces fumbles like, just short of what an enforcer would be without the ability active. He's got elite speed. Just get him better ball skills, you know? That's what I want out of him.
Well, let's pick up that conversation a little bit later or maybe another time, Zan. I'm sure I'll be back with you here soon. But we are hopping into those finals right now for Friday Night Football, number 51 between Fancy and Wesley. $1,000 on the line tonight. It's awesome to hear those subs keep rolling in. We got NorCal Navy Mike. We're on first name basis. Mike is in here, gifting the subs like crazy right now. Big shout out to my positive force for good guy.
As always, I saw Mike on Twitter yesterday saying he's kind of been MIA. We appreciate you, man. No need to apologize for any of it. Your support of this through 51 weeks has been well more than generous. We really appreciate you, man. And thanks for, as always, hanging out with us on FNF.
Super cool to see him make it out to the challenge and meet some of the guys out there, spend some times with some of the competitors and some of the guys that we've been hanging out with here for 51 weeks of football. Wish I could have made it out there, Mike. I'm sure we'll cross paths at some point in the future, but right now it is on first and 10 for Fancy against Wesley here. Again, Fancy, winner of 8 straight Friday night football. So I think that immediately makes him the favorite this evening.
Yeah, certainly. He's on a great win streak. He's won 2 out of the last 3 tournaments that we've thrown here on Muthead TV. On the other side, though, you cannot count Wesley out. I mean, this guy is on the Mount Rushmore of Friday Night Football competitors, up there with Joke and Clef and D. Croft and so many other multi-time winners. He basically dominated this tournament, this Friday Night Football circuit for the first 2, 3 months of the year. And he's still a very talented player, but here's Fancy. He's just an absolute surgeon, Mike.
Cribs to the crib. I'm saying it, man. I ain't scared. I'm going to do it. Breaks the tie and gets us rolling tonight in the finals right there. Cribs to the house. You love to see it.
Yeah, a little wheel route right there. It looked like he had the safety on the right side of the field in an inside quarter, not a deep half. A deep half would have been able to get a little bit closer to the sideline and at least cut off that route from running unscathed into the end zone. Right there, that inside quarter is a little bit better against some of the seam routes. Was not expecting the wheel. That's a great recognition and hitting the open read right there by Fancy. Huge score to start this game and potentially get him his third Friday Night Football championship in the last 4 tournaments.
It is really hard to make it up for one mistake with that kind of speed. Once you make your first adjustment, once you make your first 2 steps, it is really hard to make it up against a 99 speed guy like Josh Cribbs right there.
And that's
Oh
going to be
man,
intercepted by
Lattimore going up for the
Lattimore.
big pick, my friend. And hey, might have a chance for a turn right here. Couple guys to meet. Logan bringing him down at the 18-yard line, but man, Fancy right out of the gates with 2 big plays to get momentum in his corner right off the bat.
And it is worth mentioning that it was Fancy that recognized that he did not have the right defensive lineup. And, it might have put Wesley a little bit in a mental spot that he's not used to being in, coming out a little lethargic to start this game. But Fancy's looking every bit the guy that we've seen him be. Again, now he's looking for the post route, nothing doing. Good.
Hey,
Oh,
big
and we got
fumble
a
right
snap
there.
fumble.
He
Fortunately,
is
they
able
picked
to
up.
retain. Oh, Zan, that could have been right there. That could have been another huge swing right there. But you get Fancy in the end zone right now, 14-0 in the first minute of the first quarter here of the finals, and that is going to be a big mountain for Wesley to overcome.
Yeah, certainly. Right here, he's looking for a deep corner. Actually, he took it off the field. He flipped the play. So now he's running kind of a fork concept. He's got a post in a corner. Got to choose one or the other.
Johnson on the
Good check down right
sidelines
there.
for a small game. Small game. Great check down, like you said. Great read right there, Zan. 3rd and 8 from the 16.
Really tough down here in the red zone. You have to take what's given, even if it's only a couple yards. Just keep yourself moving forward, get a little bit of momentum, make them have to press to overexert their defense and overcommit to a certain route, especially on 3rd down and 8. Oh, that's going to be picked.
Just
Huge
what
interception.
Wesley needed, just what the doctor ordered for Wesley. A little swing right there. You did not want to go down 14-0 in the first 2 minutes of the finals.
A lot of players this year, when they throw those hitches, they like to low ball past them and possession catch them to avoid basically getting hit. They can go down. However, when you low ball it, a lot of times the receiver comes back too far beyond the 1st down marker and ends up with 4th and short. So what a lot of players have taken to doing is we have a great dime right there by Wesley, but it's jarred loose, incomplete. What a lot of players are doing on those low ball hitches and curls is they low ball but pass lead up to keep the ball past the marker, and what ends up happening is that allows the defensive player that's on the back of that hitch to maybe make a play on the ball that they otherwise wouldn't if the receiver attacks the football and comes back to it. That's what led to the interception right there for Wesley.
Oh my, huge play by Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor just makes big plays, brings him down at the 1 yard line right there. And Fancy is in, or excuse me, Wesley is in trouble. Got to see this play here, and then we're going to announce the winner. Rodgers rolling out right, gets rid of the ball. Oh, who
This is
came
an
down with
absolute
it?
bag.
Wow, out of bounds, 4th and 17. Almost had the interception right there. Guys, let's talk some winners. Cynical 563, congratulations. You win one of those last theme diamond giveaways we're doing. You get your choice of a theme diamond not named Night Train Lane. The last 2 winners have taken that tailor maze that we talked about, Zan. Look at this mix of ratings, my dude. Speed, hit power, acceleration.
That's before you powered up, right? So you powered up beyond that. That's +1 to every rating, and then you start to get in your physical chemistries, whether it's brawler, sprinter, acrobat, shaker. You start to add lockdown for zone coverage. You start to add different abilities to maybe be better tackler. The dude stock is a plug and play safety, and
And
that's
my
before
guy
you
is
do anything
six
crazy
foot
and take him
three,
up. Yeah,
6'3" out there
unbelievable.
too. Kidding me, crazy man. So
He's
yeah, we
he's
have
far
the.
and away the
Go ahead,
best
man.
user.
Yeah, that's why I see in the chat saying best user, best user, best user. Guys, we have the last. We have saved the best for last, not only for our games, but for the giveaway. Not only are you going to be able to pick a theme diamond of your choice, but EA and Muthead are going to throw in a Night Train Lane theme diamond master right on top of it. Guys, be following the channel, be active in chat, and be a positive force for good. This is not the giveaway to not be following and to be timed out. Let's go. I'm excited for you guys.
Big time pressure off the right edge there from Deion Sanders. That sack is his first of the game, his 2nd tackle. Now Wesley started to settle in a little bit, started to look real scary. Some early haymakers from Fancy to start off the ball game up against the ropes. Didn't really come out early ready to play, but now got Fancy backed up 4th down and 6. This is a huge play in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, the true sign of a great fighter is being able to take those big punches right off the bat, being on the ropes in the first round, being able to settle down, being able to focus, and then come right back. And we're seeing some of that right now from Fancy. Excuse me, Wesley, Wesley putting out some great defense right there, though. Fancy getting it out of bounds and converting for the first down.
Yeah, a little corner route, just beat the man that was assigned to him. That's what you're paying the Tyreek Hill for. You get a little bit of that speed, a lot of that speed, and obviously some medium and deep route running to create separation. Something you're going to get beyond like a Devin Hester, who's also 99 speed, but doesn't have those ratings.
Blue Tarski, thank you for that sub right there. Subbing in at tier 1. Let's put that sub hype in the chat for every time we hear that horn. End of the first quarter right there, 7-0. Like we said, Fancy was about to come out and take the game in the first minute, but Wesley able to take and absorb some of those big punches right off the bat.
Yeah, just weathering the storm right now. Still looks like he's going to be down by 2 possessions, but you can see that he's starting to punch back a little bit, whereas it was just big play after big play for Fancy to kick it off. Get another sack off the
Speaking of
edge
big
there.
plays for Fancy, not one right there. We got Wesley with a blazing speed off of the corner, able to stop him in the backfield. 3rd and 18. Big loss.
And he's just going to go ahead and take to the ground right there after that big sack. Just try to make this a shorter field goal. It would be 50 yards from here.
Yeah, big field goal here. Let's see if he can get the 10-point lead. As we kick off this second quarter, you certainly want to get we certainly want to go up by 10. Oh, it's going to be close. Yeah, he did. It is up and it is down. Fancy now up 10-0.
Yeah, so we had the big wheel to start the game for the touchdown, and then he had the interception with Lattimore. But I think you got to consider that dub if you're Wesley, just to kind of weather that one out. But what he needs right now is to get his head on straight. He's got to get points here on this drive after that slow start.
Little pitch out there to Gonzalez. Brings it in at the 20-yard line. Only 1 yard. Gonzalez kind of not the force that he usually is right now. I believe he's due for an upgrade. He hasn't had
Yeah,
one
that
for a while,
Gonzo,
but
such a great item for passers. Obviously, he's not known as a run blocking tight end, but a lot of players like to use him just because of his reliability, catching traffic. Occasionally, you ask him to win a short route, like an out route or an in route, a drag. Those are things that he can do and hold on to the football for you.
yeah, do it all guy. Obviously into the Hall of Fame last season. Oh, he had Gonzalez wide on that one, but it squeezes it in at the 33 for the reception, 1st and 10.
See, once
How
again,
about
Wesley is
Algie?
not going to have a running back in this one. That's Logan in the backfield. He had Samuels earlier.
I was just about to say the chat's calling out Algie Crumpler. What an ad to Ultimate Team right there. I've seen. Do you see the group of guys calling for Algie Crumpler for like 3 years on Twitter? There was like a small
Yes.
group of guys. Every single post they would be like Algie Crumpler. Come on. So finally they got their guy. Finally.
Well, and then they got the jerseys too. You remember those years of Vic rolling out and throwing back to Crumpler, and then you had who was it? Ashley Lilly, who was really fast for them. Uh, Shoot, they had a lot of weapons on those old Madden teams. Had so much fun rolling out with Vic, and now you get an opportunity to throw to the tight end that you used to throw to in the yesteryear as well.
Yeah, great one here suggested by the chat. Roddy White. How about a Roddy White back for the Falcons? That's an early Ultimate Team
Oh yeah,
boss right there.
remember the White and Julio Jones years when you had both of them? That was a lot of fun playing with those Falcons teams.
2nd and 11 now, just hitting that 2-minute warning in the first half of this Friday night football finals, FNFF number 51. User playmaker right there for the reception, 48-yard line now as we tick close to the end of the first half here. 3rd and 1. Kind of open up the playbook here for Wesley. Let's see what he goes to.
Yeah, he's kind of. I wouldn't say he's picking up any chunk yardage. I mean, it's very take what's given here. As Fancy's playing good defense. Oh, he left a hold of that post right there. Great recognition. Pass leads it up.
Wow, Hill
Tyreek
able
Hill,
to
hold on.
go up and get it.
I thought he was going to
Brings
miss
it
it there at first, Mike. He looked like he was a little late on the read. It was open for quite a while before he actually threw it, but maybe he was waiting for him to get further away from that center fielder on that play.
Yeah, I thought the defender got over there in time, really made a nice play on defense, but somehow Hill gets it right in between the two defenders right there. Some kind of off-speed pitch looking like from the quarterback.
I just got a request in the chat from Livestrong saying, "How about a Marty Booker, old Bears receiver, Marty Booker?" Yeah,
Now you're
that's
going.
pretty.
You're getting pretty deep.
Yeah,
Going pretty deep.
that's pretty deep down the list there. Not too many great Bears wide receivers over the years I've gotten to witness. Musi Muhammad.
Wesley threatening from the 2 right here, just kind of gives it off to Logan, who goes absolutely nowhere. A little bit backwards, as a matter of fact. Here, 3rd and goal for Wesley. I'd sure like to answer here before they go to the locker room.
Yeah, this is a huge couple plays here for Wesley. You almost consider going for going for the touchdown if you're 4th down and 1. If you can fall forward and pick up a couple yards here. Although, again, in the short yardage, that's really not his forte. You basically have 3 speed receivers that aren't known for catching traffic, but you do have a tight end that can catch the ball. The running back is pretty much a non-factor in this spot.
Rodgers, clean pocket to the back of the end zone, comes down, touchdown. Baby, he had all the time back there. Rodgers, all the time in the world. It looked great, made his decision, and right on the money for the touchdown. Nice throw, Wesley.
Great patience and recognition right there by Wesley. Stayed confident, went through his progression reads, and finds Morton streaking the back right of the end zone right there. I'm curious if I could maybe get that replay if Ant Cap is available. I want to take a look at that, see what sprung that open. It looked like he had two routes that were at the back line of the end zone, neither of which was open. So that was really the only guy that could have possibly been open on that play, and he found him.
Dickerson sliding safely to the turf right there. 22-yard line now. Fancy takes over. Probably going to want to use, obviously, all of this time on the clock here. 1 minute left in the first half. Who gets the ball after the half, Zan?
The game started off with the wheel route, I believe, by Fancy, and then the interception that Wesley threw to Lattimore. So I want to say Wesley gets ball at half. So this is a really big
Yep.
drive.
So many big plays right off the bat there between the interception and the touchdown. It was tough to keep track of all the excitement right out of the gates. Johnson right up the middle, not finding much there. Looks like it's going to be a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, actually. They gave him an extra yard on the spot.
Yeah, I think your boxing reference is perfect. This is kind of like a fight where the two fighters came out just throwing everything they had, and then neither showed that they had a glass chin. They just kind of withstood each other's blows, and now we're getting into a situation where it's going to come down to the judges. So they're really gonna have to grind this one out. It doesn't feel like anyone has like a stranglehold on this game whatsoever. We're gonna have a
Yeah,
punt.
they absolutely settling in here, getting focused. Those big plays right off the bat, both like you're saying, able to weather the storm and now settling in. 10-7 ball game here as Wesley trying to take and make something happen on the return, only finding it for a couple. Now pinned back in on the 17-yard line with 48 seconds left and only one timeout to his name.
It's like Fancy's going to go to the DB Fire 2 press this edge blitz. Going to force him to have to really play the check down game. It's hard to get open with quick pressure against the cover 2. The safety's keeping the lid on the defense. You see him check it down in the flat.
Yeah, nice little read down there to Gonzo. Everything was covered up now. 2nd and 4 from the 22. No more timeouts left. Clock stopped right now, though. Wesley with the adjustments. Rogers again with the clean pocket. Right over the middle to Hill, who lays out for the ball, bringing it in at the 40-yard line. Hurry up offense now. 25 seconds left. Spikes the ball to stop the clock.
More of a runoff than you see in mud. Obviously, you guys are pretty used to seeing only like 1 second come off the clock when you no huddle and your line just warps and you're all of a sudden ready to go again. Here in salary cap on competitive all Madden, you're going to see more of a runoff, usually 10, 11, 12 seconds.
Rogers scrambling left, able to get rid of the ball as Tank Lawrence was sniffing him out there. 3rd and 10 now from the 40-yard line. 18 seconds left in the first half of Friday Night Football. Number 51's finals here between Fancy and Wesley. Like we were saying, Fancy coming in as the favorite just because of his 8-game winning streak in Friday Night Football. But Wesley, certainly no slouch on the Mount Rushmore, like Zan says. So we've got a great matchup for you tonight. Rogers hitting the turf after Patrick Willis is able to track him down back at the 22-yard line, and that will run off and end the first half. What do you think, Zan?
How about that first half? Yeah, started out crazy. Big play after big play, kind of some sloppy offense by Wesley, withstood the storm, and now he's right back in it heading into halftime. Only a field goal game, and it is Fancy actually to take the ball. So, yeah, the first score was Fancy on the Cribs wheel, but I forgot that he actually got the 3 and out to start the game. So he had the 3 and out and the interception by Wesley on his first 2 drives, and now he's gotten himself right back in it. Again, we talk about from the start of the game, it was kind of one of those things where Wesley might have not been mentally in it because of the holdup before the start, where Fancy went into the salary cap play a friend with the lineup that he played against a runner when he actually meant to lock in the pass defense lineup. So
So,
you almost wonder if that took something out of him.
such a mental game, Matt, and a lot of people don't realize, things like that can stick with you through an entire game, and especially in a finals when a decision doesn't go your way. You've come off of a rough game or there's a tough play. Definitely a mental game. Guys, chat, now is your time. It is giveaway time. That last giveaway, like we said, we saved the best for last. You're going to get your choice of one of those themed diamonds, and then EA and Muthead is going to throw the Night Train lane in right on top of that giveaway for you guys. Be active in chat, follow the channel, and be a positive force for good. This is one you're not going to want to miss.
Yeah, I want to win that because that I need the night train lane, and two, he gets every single Kim in the game.
Yeah, he can go very nicely right on my Browns theme team. Not a problem.
That former Cleveland Brown, Chicago Bear, and all the other 30 NFL teams, night train lanes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What's the old helmet? He'll look perfect on one of our old teams for sure. Guys, 4 minutes, 13 seconds left. Keep being active in chat right there. Please double check that you're following the channel and triple check that you're being a positive force for good as Clowney finally tracks down. I thought that was Tank Lawrence before in those Cowboys uniforms, misleading. That is one Jadeveon Clowney able to track down Wesley for the 4th and 23 sack, forcing him to punt it away out of bounds, not to Josh Cribbs. I think we've learned that lesson now at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, on that play, you saw the difference between Aaron Rodgers and a lot of the other escape artists in the game, in that Aaron Rodgers also has his signature on the run animations, which actually take longer to throw the ball than the escape artists that have the generic on the run animation. So while Rodgers is one of the best pocket animations in the game, he's also one of the worst on the run animations in the game. You saw right there, any other escape artist can just chuck that by clicking the right stick. With Rodgers, you're actually going to get hit while throwing, which could also lead to fumbles. So you saw right there, he just tried to swerve him and get away and could not do so.
Chat on fire right now. I just want to tip the cap to everybody that came out this evening. Zan and I, again, we were talking about it in the break, how awesome the chat has been this evening. It's been great sharing Valentine's Day and Friday night with you guys. I'm psyched for you guys. This is one of the best giveaways that I've seen from Muthead and EA here on Friday Night Football. That Dick Lane able to just basically go on any team that you want him and fit into any scheme. Looks like we've got our winner now. It's Yeet Nations, following since March 8th. 2019. Congratulations, Yeet Nations.
Yeah,
Still
so
got to claim it though, chat. Stand by.
So not long after we first started Friday Night Football is that follow date. Then just under a year ago. So that's basically a long time follower and supporter of Friday Night Football right there. We appreciate
Good to
that.
see a Friday Night Football regular get it for sure. Joining back in here on Fancy, 4th and 5 now. Let's see if he's going to that punt. Both of these guys' defense have been playing prolific football. So I think that sense of hey, I can punt this away and rely on my defense is strong with both of these competitors.
Looking here at Fancy's punter. That's, I believe, Brian Anger. So he's not got the Ray Guy punt distance at all. You see from the 44 to the 16.
Hey, you'll still take the 16-yard line
Absolutely.
all day long.
Anytime you can pin him inside the 20, that's a win.
First and 10 now from Wesley from his own 16-yard line. Third quarter, guys, we are rapidly coming up on the end of this game right here. One of the faster moving games this evening, I think, is because we came right out of the gates with some serious excitement right there. Able to pull down the reception at the 40-yard line for the 1st and 10 for Wesley.
Wesley's still kind of struggling to get his pass offense going, save for that one long bomb against the cover 3. Just happened to catch him in the right defense and find the read. Outside of that, it's been mostly Tony Gonzalez underneath, just check down, check down, check down.
Morton gets a check down this time. First down, 47-yard line. Slow and methodical right now from Wesley. He is locked in. The whole chat calling for the reroll right now, by the way. That is hilarious.
Always. They want, opportunity at that night train lane, man.
They've learned from Boogs well. Rodgers with that clean pocket again, able to get it over Gonzalez. Lucky not to hit his lineman in the head with the ball right there. Or excuse me, the halfback blocking. 2nd and 7 now from the 44.
And that's what's so good about the big dive 146 is that you see a lot of players, they're going to blitz that slot corner off the running back side. That requires that the running back must block to pick it up, rendering him a non-factor, which is probably also why Wesley, coincidentally, does not pay his running back any cap. So that's also good strategy in team building, knowing that, well, if he's not going to run any routes, I don't need to spend any cap on it.
What can this Tyreek Hill not do? This man has been laying out. He's been blazing speed all over the map. He's been returning kicks, and I've never seen the guy lay out in traffic like that and pull one down. What a catch at the 20-yard line to wrap up the third quarter.
Fours up in the chat. 5 minutes away from $1,000 to either Fancy if he can hold this 3-point lead, or Wesley, who's moving down into the red zone starting at the 20, first down and 10. We appreciate you guys hanging out. Press one if you got Fancy, two if you have Wesley taking this $1,000. So that way we get a
Round
bunch of
open to
fours,
the
ones, and
right.
twos.
Only able to get the 4 yards, second and 11. It's all re-rolls and fours right now in the chat. That's all it is.
That's all we want.
Yeah, chat. Who's winning this right now? Put your predictions in the chat to stay active for this giveaway, just in case. Just in case we re-roll.
You never know as Johnny Morton comes in close motion to the close side.
Yeah, this is so close. You just have to lean on Fancy's streak right now. He knows what it's been like to win in Friday Night Football Finals. I mean, so does Joe Rice, but our guy Fancy is on a tear right now. Both of these guys just matched up so great here. First and goal, 9-yard line. Rogers out to Gonzalez, not able to quite get there, but to bring it down to the 4-yard line for second and goal.
Now, I wonder right here in this spot if Wesley goes back to the same route combination that he ran for his first and only touchdown of this ball game. It was the post that set him up inside the 10. But in this spot, he found Johnny Morton sliding across to the back right corner of the end zone. You have to think, if you're Fancy, that's the route you're sitting on. Is that going to open up Tony G underneath here?
Rogers just getting stellar protection back there, able to get it out to Mortensen at the 1-yard line.
This is kind of that fool's gold spot. Like, you're thinking, okay, I can punch this in, goal line package. Then you realize you have TJ Logan. You're not spending any cap on that running back. So is it really a guarantee? I mean, we're going to have to see right here. This could be a fullback inside to Johnny Morton.
Oh, and stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. Back to the 2-yard line now for a 4th and goal. Wesley taking the points.
10-10. Does Fancy have the milk drive in him?
I love it. I love it that tonight, with the back and forth matches and the quality of Madden games that we've had, that we've come down to the last 2 minutes of Friday Night Football's finals, and it's 10-10 between Wesley and Fancy. What else do you want?
We've had a great night, Mike. It's been a lot of different clashes of styles: runners versus runners, passers versus passers, passers versus runners, an 8-quarter game, quadruple overtime. I mean, we've got the whole gamut tonight. We even got tech issues. We got a roster delay. I mean, we saw everything that the night could throw at us. Here we go, 222 away.
I'm going to go ahead and break it to him now, Zan. We'll get it over with. We'll rip the Band-Aid off. Yeet Nation has claimed the giveaway, guys. But thank you so much for coming out tonight. It has been awesome.
Hey,
we still have one more giveaway on Twitter, right?
In the chat. Yeah, we do. We still have one more on Twitter, guys. Still have that one Twitter giveaway. Get that details out to you here shortly, as we have second down and 10, and he's going to flip that tight slots halfback weak.
Hey, Yeet Nation with the sub right after that. Thanks, man. Not sure if that was gifted or he just go ahead and step.
Interception.
My Lord. Wesley interception the last 2 minutes of the game. Tie ball game. Doesn't get much bigger, Zan.
Deion Sanders, primetime players make primetime plays. It didn't really matter. There was 2 Falcons on that play, but he's just outside field goal range again, 57 yards. So we'll see if Fancy can hold the door right here. Can't afford to give up much. He certainly can't give up a first down, or else that's $1,000 heading to Wesley. Who would have thought? He started out so slow. Wesley with an opportunity to win this game.
Great play by his offensive line. Some wiggle sticks by Aaron Rodgers himself right there. Able to get back to the line of scrimmage. That's a W on that one. Only losing one right there. Able to find his way through a couple different defensive linemen to gain a couple back.
Still 57 away. We saw anger, so chances are he's not paying for a Zane Gonzalez by any means.
Look at this coverage down the field. Great coverage by Mays to
Unreal.
shut down that route right there. That route looked so open, and Mays was like, you know what? I'm going to just drop back and cover that. And Abel was able to get there.
Third down and 12. Unbelievable defense here by Fancy. When many would mentally take themselves out of that after throwing the pick, he has basically pushed it back 2 yards. So third down and 12. And Fancy right now, if you're thinking about it, maybe you just want to get a shorter field goal, not necessarily a first down here.
Mortensen able to
I think,
pick up a couple, get him to that 37-yard line right there for this 4th and 7.
and that's
Here it is,
exactly what he was
guys.
thinking.
It is up
That's
and
exactly-
it is down and good. Just makes it over the crossbar to take Wesley to 13-10 over Fancy here. 1:29 left. Fancy completely out of timeouts right now, guys. He's going to have to manage this clock. He's going to have to manage those sidelines very carefully if he's going to want to take this home.
He needed every bit of that whip route on third down. I thought I was like, this is a spot where you probably just want to take your check down, and he did. He threw the whip route, got down, and had he not completed that, he's most certainly not making that field goal. Here's the pressure. Von Miller is going to start showing up here. We're in the clutch time.
No time to stop sending the heat right now. 2nd and 2. Play your game, Fancy. 56 seconds left. No timeouts on the board. He's going to have to use every second to precision. Williams stepping up in the pocket. Going to slide down the safety.
12 seconds
Got to
coming
get back
off,
to
and
the
he
line
can't
of
spike
sim.
it.
Yep.
Oh, this is a really, really bad spot.
This is the last place Fancy probably wanted to be, thinking at the beginning of this game where he thought he had full control. Brooks is up and down for the interception, looking like a game-ending interception right there by Derek Brooks, who we talked about earlier, playing safety as a linebacker, coming to fruition right there, taking home the money, $1,000 Friday Night Football.
I mean, kudos to Wesley on that. Just the mental fortitude that he showed in that game. It was ugly. 3-and-out punt, first play wheel touchdown, broken coverage. Then he throws an interception right back to Fancy. We were getting ready to pack our stuff up and get out early at halftime. It looked like it was going to be a flood and Fancy winning 3 out of 4 Friday Night Footballs. Instead, Wesley gutted his way through the first half, forced a field goal and held the door, and it was all Fancy from there. His reads were on point. His defense showed up when he needed to. Congratulations. And Wesley, I mean, we've seen the guy, he dominated the fall. He makes his presence felt here on Valentine's Day in FNF 51.
I tell you what, I don't think any Madden naysayer could come and watch Friday Night Football tonight and tell me they didn't have a good time. You saw every bit of football on the field tonight, whether it was running, whether it was passing, whether it was special teams. You saw some coffin kicks, and inside the 1-yard line, you saw four OTs, and all on Valentine's Day for Friday Night Football number 51. Couldn't be more happy to be here with you, Zan. Thank you guys so much for having me. Rockets, Will, everybody behind the scenes, and Cap, all my guys in the chat, Madden Birds, Pie Guys, Bacon Crew, Coffee Crew. Stoked to be here with you, man.
Looks like we got our clip of the night here. The Takis face the intensity moment of the game, and this is Pavin's overtime quarterback blast. Lamar Jackson, the NFL MVP, LJ Era 8, finds the end zone. We'll take a look at that again one more time if we can there. New Orleans Saints offense, that quarterback blast, Taysom Hill package is a nightmare to defend. You see a lot of players running it, and Pavin gets the big win over Timor, but it is really, truly Wesley who gets the big win tonight on FNF 50, taking home $1,000.